Hello everyone and welcome back to Team Fortress TV. We're here, we finally made it all the way through this autumn 2023 season to the playoffs of the Premiership division. 8 teams started off the season and as of last week, 7 of them could have made it into playoffs. Now 4 of them are here and they're ready to see who is going to come out on top. Joining me is J-Max on production and Dumtum on this beautiful dark little Saturday afternoon. How are you doing, Dumtum?
Pretty good, pretty good. Should be a fun one ahead. This was a very competitive season all around, and I'm very excited to see how this might develop from here. We still have, 4 games left to go, so nothing's decided yet, and these teams have been pretty close all around.
Yeah, absolutely. I just have a funny stat I'm coming into this with from comparing it to last season. Last season in league play, 6 games had like maps traded in league play. Of those, I guess 5 was fifth games, but that's beside the point. This season, there's been 12. So literally twice as many games have been tied this season as there was last season, and like that just speaks to how like close everyone is. The results just seem randomized. Everyone beats anyone on any day on any map, like no matter the circumstances, and yeah, it's completely unpredictable.
Maybe so, but in the end, right, 4 teams still came out on top for the most part. Despite all those ties, there haven't been really that many upsets, really, by seeding. I think the only upset we really had by seeding in the end was TLR actually coming up top on Man. Everyone else like tied maybe against teams below them, but no one lost to them for the most part. So while it has been close, those top 4, you can also see by the point gap they might have. I think from 4th to 5th, it's 24 to 16 points. They clearly crystallized themselves just a step ahead with just more consistency. But even then, anything's still possible up there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was seeing on the league table, the Germans in 3rd, they're actually tied on points with TLR, but they lost that game 4-2 when they met earlier on in the season. So TLR win out on the tiebreakers. They're going to be playing later on tonight in that upper bracket final, getting the free pass through the first round, so to speak. But yet the Germans in 4th and sitting 3rd and 4th after coming good later on in the season, winning most of their games against teams below them, and yeah, going to have to battle it out in this lower bracket semi-final. Is Dumtum gone? I can carry on. Yeah, so hello, yes.
That was weird. I guess clicking on some button on my desktop decided my microphone doesn't work anymore. Cool. But yeah, it's going to be interesting either way. I'm looking forward to winners finals as well later, because those matchups have been close too between the top 2 as well. Mandem had just that edge on consistency over the rest of the teams, but not by a lot, as you could see by the fact that they did in fact get beaten by TLR as well. So all of those games will be incredibly decisive for the team winning here. Like already just like getting the win here obviously matters a lot, and then even winners finals getting the map pick advantage in the season where maps are this varied. We have the 2 new maps, we have the 2 COF maps, and then the like 3 or 4 traditional 5CP maps. Knowing what you get to pick makes a huge difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's sort of one thing I want to add to that for this game in particular. So obviously there's been, I guess, maybe slight controversy as such about the map pool choices for this season. We're obviously saying there's the traditional maps, there's a couple of COF maps, but then there's also Sultry and Entropy that have come in. And Sultry, I think, has had a pretty common uptake. We've seen it a fair bit this season, probably as much as the rest of the 5CP maps. But Entropy has only been played twice, and both times the Germans won it. They're the only team to have won on this map so far, and that means, I guess, now for the rest of it, is anyone going to really let it float against them? Is in fear of it getting picked? It kind of seems like a free ban and gives you sort of a free pick advantage. These vetoes in playoffs.
It may be so, but it's still a bit of a dangerous pick. After all, it is still a fairly new map, of course. I'm looking forward to it being played, I will say. The last few matches I have seen in lower divisions, Entropy games have been significantly more interesting than the Sultry games, I will say. Who knows if that will hold true in Prem. The metagame is like slowly developing over there as well. We see more common things on mid fights, I see more common things on last, but still a lot of experimentation here and there. And I'm curious to see being developed more for now. On the server, currently we see Gully Watch, which, I mean, if I'm not getting the new map, I might as well get the best map, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, this is going to be followed up by Metalworks as map number 2 and Snakewater, if required, as our decider. Yeah, these teams obviously in a round robin they've met already. In this season, they played Sultry and Snake, and both times it was the Germans who came out 3-2 in Golden Cap. So there was a weird sort of recurrence and deja vu there. But yeah, not bet themselves on Gully Wash yet this season. So be interesting to see who comes out on top on this one.
Yeah, I'm certainly very keen to see that. It's a bit of a weird one too, because I believe the Frenchies would like to pride themselves a really good COF team. The results for them have been fairly solid on COF maps for the most part. However, the one match I remember of the Germans in game was the Mandem game on Bagel, which was a nail bite of a game. They almost get points from that as well, mind you. So it's just not a safe pick, I feel like, in a lot of cases. People always like to say in the past that the KOF games is where the upsets happen, but like, I think basically all teams you have to top Prem are just really good on KOF, and that just has not been true. Trust me, Vamp Boogie has tried this season. Those guys are KOF fiends as well, and I mean, it got them all the way to 5th place as newcomers at least, but they just didn't quite get as much of the KOF picks against the top teams that they wanted, and I guess it just speaks volumes to everyone at the top just not being just that weak on the KOF maps as people used to like to say anyway.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Right? There's 2 KOF maps in the
Yeah,
pool. You can't ban both of them. If they both come up, you can't get rid of both all the time, right? So yeah. Well, we're going in on to we can talk a little about the 2 teams coming into this. We've got Germans coming in as 3rd seed. Like we said, is there anyone particularly on Gully Wash you want to highlight? Might do well.
Well, I mean, especially with the roster changes they have this season, the eyes have to be on KN, right? He is joining as a pocket soldier previously from Mandem, did well that season too, but at the end of the day, right, they add a like classic pocket soldier style player on beam all the time kind of guy to the roster. It will inevitably change completely how the team functions, and you see that every game they're playing. If you play pocket heavy soldier like that, it will impact your team's gameplay, and for the most part, for the better here. It's been going pretty well, all things considered. So I'm very curious to see how that performs as well, especially in a map like Gully Wash, which is just a fairly good splash map as well, which also means Ice and Philip, I suppose, in the demo matchup too. But really interested to see how the soldiers will stack up in this department.
Yeah, absolutely. KN has sort of become like the focal point. I guess, yeah, like you say, if you've got a soldier that's getting like 25-30% beam every game, then they sort of have to be. And I've got to say, KN stepped into those shoes very, very well, coming in from Mandem last season. And yeah, has been a real good sort of leader of the charge, should we say, getting things done, getting that damage outputted. But over the other side, we've got 4 Fens who've done very well themselves this season, got their own very strong soldier duo over in Bruges and Azunis, as well as Nevo and Shea on scouts. Also, I guess Shea's more known for the off-classing, bit of a demon on the sniper, on the spy, and anything done in the alien, and probably rounding out the roster. Yeah, very strong French team. Not quite the same roster that came 2nd place last season, but we know that these players, they on the big stage, they turn up. They went on the big lower bracket run last season, and hoping to do something similar this one.
Yeah, certainly it hasn't slowed them down too much to change roster as well. Big eyes on, I believe, the Soldier do here as well, right? Zoom is obviously back to European TF2 after a bit of a hiatus from it, I suppose, but Bushman here as well, looking really solid last season and not bad at all this season either. It's going to be a battle of the Soldier dudes, I think, this map that can determine a lot of this one. Will be very interesting. I guess worth mentioning as well that there's no Condor present tonight.
Ah. That is news.
So you might be able to see on your server there's a bit of a medic mark going on today, which will impact things, I will say, because being a Condor team significantly changes how you play.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure if you can get the medic stats up, but there was I know there's one thing that Condor's kind of known for is like these crits plays, these really like weird like aggressive plays. Like I know their reputation for dropping a little bit, but that's not because it holds a lot as well. And yeah, lots of crits usage, lots of aggressive healing, and yeah, really a different sort of play style to what you see out of a lot of Prem medics. And yeah, changing up in the playoffs is maybe not exactly what the Germans were hoping for coming into this. It's obviously better to have your stable roster with everyone who's used to it. But I'm sure Joe can step into these big shoes well.
Certainly. I mean, we've seen the guy about the scene for a long while on pretty much every class, mind you, as well. So there's a player that knows what they're doing for sure. It shouldn't be coming too much of a surprise. I've played with a lot of these individuals before as well. It still having to happen on the big stage right now in an important games like this is always a little less than desired, I guess. But I mean, you'll do what you have to, I suppose, and maybe it will all work out in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose we're still sorting out getting their mercs in and stuff. But have you got any kind of predictions for how you think Gully Wash might go?
That's a tough one. I believe the Germans like this map in the past. I wouldn't be surprised if this is their map pick at all. But at the end of the day, I think this is going to be their right. It was like, didn't they play against each other on this map before as well? And it was the funny double golden cap game. That was at least the last matchup. I don't remember if it was on Gullywash, but they certainly had the funny double golden cap game.
It was Sultry Snake. It was both 3-2 golden caps early this season, yeah. But yeah, I think I'd have to agree. I think the Germans are slightly favoured coming into this. They had a bit of a beating against Mandem on this map early this season, but I guess a lot of teams have had a bit of a beating at the hands of Mandem early this season, so maybe not something you can read into too much. But yeah, the other Soldier duos, and particularly KN, like can absolutely farm, and I'm sure we'll be trying to do just that in this first map. But yeah, it seems like everyone's sort of filtering their way in. We've not got a looking like we're starting for a little bit of time.
For what it's worth, both teams' week 7 results have been surprisingly close nail biters. They barely scraped away with. I believe for fans had to get through Garda to get the confirmed player spot, and after a 2-1, 3-1 game, they didn't have the lead in for the majority of the game. I think it took forever for anyone to score rounds in both those maps. They eventually got away with the Germans with not much of a better result in week 7, despite getting 6 points. Took a while for them to get away with the win over Havoc. That was also a pretty close one, but they also did beat them on Gullywash, and that was the better map, so to speak, I guess, by score alone in that week 7 game. So that's not like the recency bias you want to have going into your playoffs game, right? It's a win, sure, but a really, really close one. Surely they had good scrims since then, but at least for, public perception, that is not what you want to have going into playoffs. Surely they've done the homework, though. These are experienced players. Clearly, all names we've seen around before, so high expectations on all of them. They probably all went into the season expecting to do really well.
It's still possible.
Still a while away from grand finals at the moment.
They have got the harder route coming in through this lower bracket. They've not got that lifeline that TLR and Mandem have. They can afford to slip up once. Only once, but they can afford to slip up once before they get into the final. So yeah, one of these teams is going to be going home in 4th. The other one going to be having a chance against the loser of that later game today in the game tomorrow, which Olivia are also going to be helping looking out with. But yeah, I guess Gullywash, like you say, is something that they're obviously scrimming a lot. It's not a weird map. It's not like we've got like an entropy or something coming up first map. It's nothing too crazy. Like everyone can play this map to some degree. Obviously, it favors different playstyles better and different playstyles worse. But yeah, it's not something you're going to see anything particularly crazy, as in like some team is suddenly pulling out.
Or maybe you will.
Strats. Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we'll be surprised very happily. I'm happy to be surprised.
Maybe one of these individuals brings out the Demo Knight as well. Who knows? I've heard this is a good Demo Knight map from credible sources.
Credible sources.
You never know.
I see. But yeah.
Well, I have only seen one Demo Knight game that wasn't lost this season, so make of that what you want.
Yeah, and we're having kind of farming, right? In Div 2.
They're not even the only ones, too. That's the worst part.
Who else is running Demo Knight?
That's one also low team, too. They didn't make playoffs, but they finished like high middle. It's been a thing. Weird strategies are on the come up. Last season there was Bagel Heavy happening as well.
Yeah,
ironically, so people are trying the hardest.
Yeah, I saw some like heavy players on Sultry, I believe, on was it to mid? I saw heavy to mid recently. No, it was Process. I saw it, and in that Div 2 game on a Thursday night there was a heavy to mid, which was.
People are trying. Okay, but Valu's team's also out of playoffs, so what does that really count for? Anyway, back to teams that are still in playoffs but need to desperately win to make it anywhere. It's Germany against France. Ignore the fact that neither roster is full German or full French. This is now a Nations Cup game to decide who makes it through the next stage of playoffs.
Absolutely, as both teams rolling out, there's nothing too crazy, both teams rolling out. I guess actually the blue side of the Germans seemed like they're sitting towards Big. They're looking like they were going to go for the right side mid, but kind of got cut off early. Bluesman going down though, so it's going to work out for them as they get that one pick and just start taking the space and going to be given a lot of ground for free. As it was weird when they're sitting in Big Door for a while, but they make it work, win the spam war, and one soldier pick is all it takes.
Yeah, like I said, only one kill. It's not going to be too explosive a play from here, you would imagine. Looks like the French is well aware of what's going on, just took the exit early, but don't behold, Drum's already pressuring the flank a little bit here. Leave it to Shocky to at least make them think about watching the flank here, but nothing committed just yet. Needs a bit more than that. I mean, at this point in the game, everyone's ready for a scout to just go lower lobby and make a run for it. Not making it that easy for them just yet. The question is what it really might take to break open the stalemate. Rotation back to choke, just a bit more traditional positioning for the time being, but no one's taking the big chance just yet. Just give it some time and someone can figure something out there. Look at that. Yeah, they're just rotating back and forth. They're really trying to see if they can somehow catch someone just a little bit off guard.
Yeah, this is sort of one of the plays you go for, right? You try and get somebody behind into the lobby, try and pressure Big Door. Maybe you can use it to send a sack, send some pressure, get someone up into into lobby or into it, but currently Baby Door sticking off Azunis and Shea, keeping a close eye on their entrance, both Big Door and Baby Door, so doesn't look like the door is open just yet. We're still in 5 players though there now with the German side trying to work their way in. Boxy toying with the idea of going through Baby Door, going to be denied by those stickies of Alien as Phillips walked in deep as well, so lots of space being granted, but I guess it's containment in offense.
There's a bit of an attempt coming through with Fish going behind. It gets spotted very early, so maybe not the biggest threat as Bushman already coming backward, but will go down. Unfortunately, a trade, still only 1 down on each side, makes it a bit awkward for Fish, but they do have the player behind, and maybe that's all they need. Azunis waits for the arrow, and Lobby gets it in time. It doesn't matter. Fish hits all of these, just takes down the entire flank by himself.
And now he's going to have potential chance to get onto Shea as well. Bomb comes in, Kayan landing in on Alien as well. Demoman down now for the French. Push comes in up onto the back of the platform. Uber's going to be traded out, so Poy's going to be safe for now. Down to 30 HP. Got taken very, very weak, and Fish Cock being dealt with by Shea finally in that back line. Is going to give some semblance of a hold together as the Germans were forced out by the Uber charge. With Poy popping out very nicely, getting Nevo going down, but got so much space, and now got some time, but Azunis not able to get the damage required to get kills. Jumping in onto choke, and second point going to be captured up.
Pretty good, yeah. I mean, player behind, like I said earlier, very common thing, and the French is just a little lazy about it, right? Send one soldier back, gets out the end, the second soldier just a little absent-mindedly Lobby waiting for the arrow, completely caught off guard by the soldier being there, it feels like, almost. Bit of a bad look for the Frenchies on the defense here, and they need to step up their game badly to not lose this round as the push is coming to last. Bit of a setup here already. You get good damage under point, makes it a bit harder to play the point itself, but they're just rushing it from up top, not lower. Bombs are coming through as well. Everyone's there to body block it, and that might just be enough for fans.
Oh my, Nevo went absolutely massive there on the Pyro, kept that gun alive for so long, kept the rest of the combo alive as well, barely took any damage as well in front of that left spawner, just holding the fort, holding off the invading onslaught of the Uber charge, but yeah, not enough, and yeah, really big Uber charge advantage now for Poi at 50%. Second point might be getting taken for free as well. Kayan going to be jumping in, try and make that not the case, gets the force, really nice play. Shocky there blocking it as well, up from above, going to jump down, try and get onto Alien, not going to quite manage that, but 2 plays for a force. Second point being flipped towards the French is not the end of the world now for the Germans, but you've got to be careful. 6v4, they don't quite have their Uber charge yet, so the French are going to try and run in and Uber charge straight to open Joe.
And they're trying to get as much pressure in as they can while there's an opening, and look at that, get the force on. Everyone should be staying alive on blue with this as well, so it's not the worst force ever seen, I suppose, but still have to use so early. They're actually getting so many kills too. Everyone's getting caught so late on the French side. I was going to say, maybe this works out quite nicely for them, forcing them all the way out of mid. Can buy themselves enough time on last maybe with that, but even that's cutting it close. The soldiers should just about come up in time. Big sticky trap does some good damage there as well, and everyone's suddenly a lot weaker than they would like to be, peeking to last there, and that might just kill their chances a little bit. Frenchies get time to set up one more time on last and hold this together for the time being, prevent this from being an all too early lead just yet. Once again, Pyro and Gunner coming out. And with what you said earlier on the last push as well, it's really not surprising that you don't see like the shut up Pyro so much anymore, like on entrance on this map. On most maps, including this one, you just see the Pyro far back with the gun a lot of the time, especially if you don't have much time to set up forward. Just keeping that gun alive is so huge, and I'm sure we will see the impact of the sentry gun on this last hole as well. Yeah,
absolutely. And I guess the thing with the French this time is they've actually got even Ubers, so they don't even have to worry about the instant burst coming in, having to try and keep people alive in an Uber charge from Joe and Boxy coming in. But no, now got the gun up, got the Pyro up, got everyone turtling up on this left-hand side, and I think it's going down might actually buy some space for the Germans as they're spamming in, trying to get on his gun. But yeah, Shea's doing such good work, actually reflecting the rockets over towards River. Very nice. Might be an awkward mini crit landing, but actually not going to do all the air blasting required as KN eventually gets the final rocket in the coffin for that sentry gun. But now the spawner's back in though, and this pick almost means nothing unless they're going to use something off the dumping down.
Yeah, as soon as paid JMX off good money to not have his staff in lower area be on camera just now. He missed some very easy rockets on the scout in lower area. Does not get punished. Foxy was thinking about going point, but they never actually follow through despite the gun being down. Now Zunis takes chance again. This time around, it looks a lot better for him. Will actually get the kill down there as well, and the guy that can go point out of the equation, certainly there's not much bite to display for a little bit longer here, which is unfortunate. You really want to get in while the gun's down, but they just don't find the opening.
Yeah, absolutely. They were just playing with the fact they were one pick up, right? And then managed to get the gun down. By the time the gun's down, that player's back up again, and they just never quite had two things at once. that they could push off. And Voxy going to be respawning in no off classes just yet, it doesn't seem. So it'll be keeping it Kuriko, so there are obviously plenty of off class players you can go on this map. There's Sniper, you can go for Pyro, Spy, anything really. You'll probably make it work in Gully Rush Last. It's just one of those maps. But this time I'm just going to go for Kuriko to see if they can get someone into water. And Voxy is going to do just that, straight all the way underneath. Probably being spotted, but I'm not entirely sure. He got a good timing past Alien, but he's got underneath. The Zunis is definitely aware though now. Spamming down and Voxy just trying to be that nuisance underneath.
Kendra's going to go down here. Yeah, he shoots the Pyro.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Uh-oh. Well, it did help that Bushman hit a lot of rockets there as well to just assist, but they're waiting for the big play to happen. Just getting out Pyroed. Well, not exactly a great look. As soon as even Min Spawn was looking, if anyone will off-class here, you got to be ready for it. But looks like, unsurprisingly, Ken will not. Would have been very surprised if he would be the one to do it.
It's much more likely if you're going to come up with like a banner or something, but I guess there's only 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. You wanted to go for a banner, you probably wanted to go for it a minute or two ago, but now we're getting into half the time when the timer has gone down before the round reset. Voxy back underneath once more. Going to have a repeat of, I think, round number 3 against Azunis. And in this sort of repeat fight, they're playing a little mini 1v1 session underneath in the water and in the close range quarters of water. I'm assuming that Azunis is going to be very happy to take these fights.
All very passive by the blue side here still, though, all things considered. Like, they're never getting to the actual play on point, and it's just making it look like they haven't done anything the last 3.5 minutes. Because there's just never the point pressure to really make people move at all. And it's making it look so easy. Voxy rushes under point. Zoom's pretty weak. The has to be careful. It might just get away in time as well. Clutch arrow, but just goes point instantly. Everyone else needs to keep an eye on that, but looks like the rest of the blue team can't really punish off the opening just yet. So not much coming of this either, and time's running out. They have only touched the point this one time just now. Maybe that's all they need, but they really need to get a move on then.
Yeah, the timing just wasn't there. They got the point pressure you were just talking about with Voxy, but and 3 people turned round, but no one was quite in position.
Kill comes through. Both
go. Who's going to get the cap? Waiting. Okay, never mind point pressure, just point capping, just get both your scouts underneath, piling onto Azunis, and yeah, they're straight in. They see the weakness, and they don't even need to force out the Uber as they go one round up.
It always seems so silly when someone just can walk in main into secret, but like someone just looks away from the main entrance for 1 second and suddenly just a scout running in, and if the soldier, the one guy you keep busy on point, is already kept weak by the other guy, suddenly there's just so much point pressure. Will be the round for the Germans. It is a lead right away. However, midfight immediately off the bat here. Everyone's taking so much damage from blue. They're so weak already. Bushman behind as well wants to clean up. Meets up with the healthiest guy of the group, but still gets the kill anyway. Flip going down. Numbers looking good for the French. Force the rest of them back. They want the kills, however. Alien with the chase coming in here. Matt's far back. Has some help here. Gets the pack as well.
Nevo's in.
The scout is right so there.
Weak. Joe is so weak. If Joe gets out, this is a miracle. Down to still 4 HP. What is this from Joe? How on earth? Still getting chased down by Azunis as well. Rockets are coming in. And Shocky eats the rocket.
They lose point on the mid.
Oh dear. In the meantime, yeah, KN has swept up Poi, but great work there from the rest of the German combo, keeping Joe alive, keeping their Merc safe.
Unlosable mid-fight. Still somehow lost anyway. You hate to see it, you love to see it. I guess depends who you're rooting for, but either way, it is incredible that any of this just happened the way it did. And the Germans, after a clear loss in the mid-fight, suddenly just back on top of things.
KN is actually ratting out behind the rest of this combo, and they could be going in for even more as well. As big Uber change advantage from Joe, going to be collapsing in. KN jumping 3 now, getting 1 kill onto Azunis and back up into River as well. So, going to be hoping to cut everyone off as Voxy gets the Uber charge straight in through Lobby into Alien as well. Alien's on a long 18-second respawn, and yeah, all the way back to last it is for the French.
So I don't like the sound of this, because eventually they cracked under pressure. It might not take this long this time around. They just want to force early. No, really just anything early right now. There's no real setup. They just throw one into last. Evo stakes. The damage is really good on point. And there it is. Clean up by the scouts and the soldiers on cap, just flooding in. And you gotta take these chances, right? What makes the last zone so difficult usually is that everyone's fully set up, ready to go, has the gun ready, not letting you get any closer, but they had none of that. Just no entrance watch. They just got back there and didn't have full numbers up. You gotta get in to at least make a sack on the medic, and what are they gonna do? Risk their medic and go point? I mean, they took their chance and it still didn't work out anyway.
Yeah, I think earlier Spider was just a few seconds away from spawning back in after dying in lobby, but yeah, using those couple of players' advantage, and now despite what looked like a really good mid from the French, getting turned around to around within 2 minutes in the other direction as Moxie and Zunis go 1-for-1 so far. Fishkoff taking the opportunity to jump in, one rocket, two rockets, doesn't land the splash on the second though, as Poi lucky to get away with their life as everyone else on the blue side retreating all the way out, 2 rounds up, no need to overstay, no need to risk too hard, as yeah, Vox is all the way back up on the engineer as well, so going to be setting up first time that the French have really threatened and got deep into enemy territory in this game, and they're really going to make it work, right? 2 rounds down, so take these chances when you can get them.
Well, I have seen some attempted comebacks this season, so coming back from 2-0 doesn't sound like too much in comparison. Still not easy by any means, and not having the advantage until last certainly hurts quite a lot either. Really, the French just have to show that they're more comfortable making plays until last. The Germans might have gotten around eventually to stalemate, but the way it went through certainly didn't make most of their attempts actually look pretty in hindsight either way. They just had one right call at the very end, and there we go, starting off with a lot of cap by forces Kayano, didn't quite get the kill. Pistol shots, the stickies actually will do in the end. That's the kill right there. At least trades it out one more time. Can we do anything in the meantime? Gun is still up, makes this annoying. Spaz coming through, they're really trying to get something in here, but not a whole lot of damage sticking just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 for 2 on the trades, and Philip down, Demoman down means there is actually more space to work with, no sticky traps to navigate, and they're actually going to use the opportunity. Azunis and Brugman both jumping in towards the point, getting a lot of damage. They're going to try and cap this out. No, surely not. Azunis now ducking out underneath. Fishcup goes down on the point, and yeah, back to just one play down. And yeah, they took the opportunity again. It's the same as before. When the Demoman's down, they can really go for something, but yeah, not quite working out.
Well, time's not any more close to running out just yet, so just take more chances. They already have a bit of cap time. Forces the other team to look at point a little bit more vigilantly for the remainder of this until cap time runs back down. And they're doing just that. That was like Scott's order, watching point as well, heavy close enough to go point as well if need be. Not that just necessary quite yet, fortunately enough. This will not take too much time here as well. Surprisingly, still a heavy mind here as well, not a gun. Roxy might swap off now as well. These goes to spawn, but only to take ammo. So they want the heavy. I can see the merits, I suppose. Obviously, having the literal aimbot is really, really strong, but at the very least, this guy can also go point if you have to.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm not sure they really have the space to get a gun up, right? Because they're getting spammed out so aggressively by Azunis, Indian, and Brugman. They're getting a gun up might just be too hard. They might not be able to
there's the kill on point.
Oh, shit, very close.
And there's the call on the medical. That is what beautiful by Azunis. Just the second everyone realizes Ken went down, they all drop down, and the medic was just completely alone for a second. Didn't matter that there was the heavy that can go point. Maybe the gun would have been better there, because that thing would not have made that mistake.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah, dropping down, and you saw everyone just floods away off the platform, and just Joe's left alone, just looking around, where have all his friends gone? As he's, taken out, and massive advantage now, and this surely is the French's round to lose.
Actually, take a look at Philip and Fishkopf here. Like, sometimes you see people hiding here, but 2 people at once is certainly a new one.
Yeah, you see, Demo underneath is something you see quite a bit, but not quite Demo in secret, along with Soldier. Fishkopf coming in, doing big damage. It seems like a bit of an unwelcome surprise for the oncoming forces as they've taken this charge and taken up onto the right-hand side, but taking a lot of spam, lots of low health bars, and it might just have done the trick. Foxy and Philip going down, but yeah, maybe they weren't expecting it.
Clearly not.
Damage onto point.
Yeah, they weren't ready. The Uber comes in up top and just there's no one to shoot, go point, and suddenly there's just so much damage. Completely caught them by surprise. They pulled a little ruse on them there. Played hide and seek, they're winning it, and back into second and might go here. Still have to be careful, but they have to Uber at the very least to keep momentum up.
Yeah, absolutely. And Soldiers both coming out towards the choke as well. Kane and Fishkopf rolling the space as well as they can and forcing out all of the forefence players. And Uber charge advantage is dwindling. Just Poi got out alive, doesn't have the extra time, and Azunis has actually got all the way in behind, so we might be slowing down a second, seeing what Azunis can do on the flank, see if he can draw some rotations. It seems like Shocky is aware of it, looking out around top lobby. But yeah, not the end of the world. They've not been pushed back all the way to mid, but they are going to be losing Brugman on the way in. Actually going to take a trade straight in. Better Uber coming out for the Germans, trying to juggle Poi in as well, but actually 2 frags.
Yeah, I don't know about better Uber anymore all of a sudden. They just didn't get the beam on anyone. Philip Uber will run out as well. There's one more bomb coming through, but they're so ready for it. Postal position, great. By the Frenchies, Jay behind. Just, I don't even know how much damage Jay hit there, but the fact that no one could get past the guy alone did everything they needed. Everyone just stuck in choke while the rest of the team bombs back in, annihilates them entirely, and all of a sudden this is a wide open last point.
Yeah,
For
KM
the taking.
versus the world. Actually going to get the first kill into Nevo. And Fishkoff
Oh,
with
never
a
mind.
massive bomb. Okay, Fishkoff, 3 kills with 1 rocket. That really turns the tides in their favour. And Poi now last alive.
Sometimes the world loses these.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
And Poi doesn't even have anyone to build within the entire post-fight there as well. Forever until the beam attaches to someone.
They're collapsing in straight away. They really want to try and get into Joe, try and turn this scuba charge disadvantage around. Joe with good movement, staying alive for a while, but Azunis and Evo able to come and get that kill. And actually, never mind, it was all part of the plan for the fences. They're now 6v3, Uber charge advantage in hand as well, and starting to work their way back into lobby, get where they left with a few moments to go. KM's trying to block second just to slow things a little bit. Shea's taken 1 rocket, and Guzman's actually forced back as well. Big air shot, let's go for the second. Oh, not going to land it. That would have been a highlight clip if Guzman used that second rocket from KM, but it's got time.
Do they have that time though? The longer this takes, eventually the Uber will just come up as well. It helps in theory, in practice, it just delays the inevitable, it feels like at this point. Because everyone's ready now. These can will spawn in time, I guess, but that's really the only silver lining now. You have to convert these.
Yeah, we've already seen that 1 failed Uber last push from the French. There's no, there is the same funny underground secret way to deal with as well. Fishkoff and Philip walking through, spamming down under point, getting a lot of damage again, and they're just not being dealt with once more. Everyone's low HP, everyone's caught in the water, everyone's drowning down there, and there's so many low players. Shea as well, all the way back out, Nevo and Guzman as well. Guzman jumping up onto point, going to be traded out with KN as Roxy now able to farm up with that minigun. And yeah, there's no answer to this hold. The 2 players in secret on Desad just seems like the way.
They spotted it early too. There was a soldier coming up the other side from secret, and it just still couldn't really get much damage going to begin with, and it just makes this whole thing very awkward. And there you go. It's just a matter of a slightly different last of strategies. Really get them awkwardly caught there. Speaking of which, yeah, that's the force right there. Azunis on second for the second time around now, instantly on the medic. Beautiful stuff by the soldier. Has at least a plan B, and this is big ad too, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. That's such a massive, massive play. We talked beforehand about how important the soldier combo is for Forfence, and getting forces out in situations like that where, yeah, they were in big trouble because they're not just going to lose second. There's a chance that maybe the Uber had still persistent in mid as well, and they could be losing even more. But now, massive advantage for the Frenchman with Poi. As Poi's Uber takes up just up to 100%, going to have to deal with Fishkoff up above, who's going to be jumping away after doing a couple of rockets, and yeah, Poi able to walk in and not had to use just yet either.
Oh, eats that pipe, there's more spam coming, but despite that, looks like, oh no, we're not fine at all. There's still a guy spamming the lobby, will just use it to chase. The advantage is still there. If you get damage early, this might still work out, but you gotta get kills quick. And once again, they're popping in and no one's to be found. Everyone's just hiding under point, and they can't really shoot them down there at all. It's not gonna go. Eventually, Neville, coming from lower, did actually catch them just in time to get forced out as well. It's not a big advantage that Poi gets out of this one, but it's certainly better than nothing at this rate. Still, the 2 down, 10 minutes left. Time, it's still there, I guess, but so much of it has passed now since we got to the 2-0 scoreline, and nothing has worked yet.
Yeah, we were saying before, I maybe jumped the gun slightly, like 18 minutes left, saying, oh, maybe Forfence should start looking at taking some of their chances. But now, after a couple of failed Ubrad last pushes and a couple of mishaps around the enemy last, like, you're really thinking they've spent this last 8 minutes all outside this last point and not managed to get around on the board. The pace has to pick up at some point as we're about to tick into this final third of the game. And now, like you say, Uber charges pretty much even out within 10% of each other, as both sides have been building very, very hard. And yeah, they've got to find a way in. Is it going to be a distraction under point and a Zunis bomb? Is it going to be some sort of big playoff class, a double sack or something? There's got to be something you've got to do.
For now, it's a lot of spam here trying to, I think they're almost shooting the engine mode in the gun, which is a valid thing to do, I guess. The second that guy has to go back and heal, you have some time to actually get the gun a lot easier, I suppose, but don't quite get either of which in the end. Things will stay here. Once again, we're seeing Pyro Gun as well, very commonplace these days. It just makes it so much harder to get that thing down as well. It makes them so much more desperate to try to do it, and in fact, it's one overextended while they're attempting it. Never caught already. That's certainly no point play until the scout respawns, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I think honestly, these like sort of scout distractions underneath has been enough. I'm not sure if they're gonna see any form of offense.
Oh,
never mind, Shea's running
spawn.
back. Never mind, Shea's going back. We know what Shea's like on sniper. Wait until 21st minute of the game to decide to pull it out. But we've seen multiple highlight clips from Shea in the past. Even on Gully Wash, just flying in through the river, ripping off the heads of medics. Never mind anyone that stands in his way. And what a time it will be to pull up a clip like that. 2-0 down against the 8 ball. 9 minutes left on the clock. And Voxy straight away going down at the hands of the sniper rifle. We know what this man can do, peeking in even deeper as well. On the second shot, but it's so scary, right? On the other side of this, surely.
Just immediately walks in there and just sees the sniper just sitting there, not looking at anything important, it looks like. Makes it look easy here. Bit of point time coming out, which is exactly what the sniper would need to peek in. Gets a chance on the medics. Not enough just yet, but they're also still busy on the point. That's KN going down. They have another soldier watching that, but the more they do that, the more dangerous it gets everywhere else. Sniper caught off guard. Eventually, bit of spam coming through as well. Nevo needs to take the opportunity here to get onto Fishkop. Barely doesn't stay alive there in the end, and Dushman's not happy enough to take that place either. They're really trying to just trickle in on point one by one, and they're keeping them very busy. This is getting more uncomfortable by the second, but still not enough just yet. Dushman tries again, not a pain train, mind you, just normal soldier on point. Devilman just in with that as well. They're walking in top right, all undeterred in the meantime, and they're getting the force out so early.
Great play from Usman there, even though it doesn't actually get any kills, it distracts so many players down to the point, and that's all it takes, right? They're able to walk in through the shuttle, the Devilman's distracted, looking down, Philip passes up onto point to block it, and yeah, coming in straight away, get the force, but we've been here before. Forfens have been in this position, full Uber ad into last twice already, and they haven't had an answer to these funny plays in secret with the soldier and demo. So see if they're going to be something that the Germans are going to go for again, see if it's something that the French have got to answer for as they're getting their spawners in. Everyone's getting ready. Looks like main is the name of the game. Straight onto the point is Nevo running in, getting all the space. Philippe and Fishkop this time hiding underneath the point rather than in secret. Voxy up on the heavy as well, and they seem to be standing the pressure so far. Coming from Azulis as well on the height, but never mind. Dealt with eventually. Great work there by the soldiers once more. Nevo as well, taking all that space across point. And finally, the third time of asking, third time is the charm for Forfens as they bring it back to within one.
I mean, that was just a masterclass in Gary Bush in general. Really nice pressure all around to get the force to begin with, just from all directions at once. Yet barely anyone died on that part to get that. And then just a last push where they didn't get any kills, but they just controlled every bit of space on the last point to get exactly what they wanted. But maybe not harder to control space on mid, especially without a Devilman. Fish early to get that kill. The rest of them just up there cleaning up some damage already. And this is looking really good for the Germans. Just instantly changing gears back to full speed after having to sit on last for so long.
Yeah, they were sat on last for literally felt like 10, 12 whole minutes, and actually Shea and Rouge were both looking to get out alive as well on that mid, running back out the big dog. Very low HP on both of those, could have been even worse for Fens, but now currently sat on second. There's, again, it's this time of the game, right? I start looking at the timer, so there's 6 minutes on the clock, and they're currently sat all the way on second. Do the French want to start maybe trying to break out of their own lobby? Do they start thinking about pushing out? And Nevo, I think, is potentially looking at that. Nevo has gone up onto Spy, which is very risky, and it's a bit maybe early to go with a risk like this, but if it works, it works. Currently trying to find an opening through one of the doors, lobby, but yeah, it's a risky play, but when the time calls for it, maybe it's what you need.
Who knows, but you don't have much time to do it, is the problem. 5 minutes left. The Germans, they play this as slow as they want, just feed on mistakes off the side of Forfens. Never has to get something fast, and that's not usually where this at Spy tends to shine, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's so hard to get out as well, right? Because there's the two shutters, or there's like River. That's like your options for getting through, and they're like River's getting spammed, just eats a rocket instantly, and then there's the two shutters which are sticky, and you can see them walking through. So yeah, just gonna run all the way back. Eats one rocket, decides, you know what, not for me, but this has burnt a minute off the clock. Shea Sniper is the new object in the cooking book.
With a pyro too. This is some strategies, all right.
Yeah, certainly cooking, and this sniper, this laser dot, peeking all the way deep across the second point from River, very aggressively trying to get this all-important shot onto Joe. Joe hiding behind it, a little bit of corrugated metal.
They peek.
Dips out to the side of it, and Shea hits these 150 damage body shot, gets the drop, and might just be keeping Forfens in this map. Big advantage now for Poi, and really going to be all they need if they want to start pushing out and mounting a comeback.
That is maybe a bit of a problem, not gonna lie. This could impact the game, as the Frenchies now have big ad. Looks like they're not the only one busting at the spy though. KN switching class here. They probably just think to themselves they can do better than their opponents did just now as well, but with one more down already, it's getting a bit more troublesome. A lot less resistance you can put on mid right now. And mind you, there probably won't be much of any bombs. They just have to bank on this spy doing it. So it might be. Already took damage, but it looks like no one really took notice of that, which I guess just happens when you spam this spy by accident around corners. But still, time is of the essence now. KN's going to be quick, otherwise they might just take second as well.
Yeah, this is so risky, right? You're losing one of your soldiers, one of your peak spam classes for denying these choke points, forcing uber charges as people run in, and they have it on spy now all the way back, still sat on mid, just crawling around as the push is coming in into second. Offense all the way in, sweeping up on second, capping they've got all the space, they're capping the point. Ayen's coming in now, it's got to be all or nothing right now. There's still a soldier down on last, and I'm sure at this point, maybe offense are realizing something's up. They've only seen one soldier jumping around and thinking, KN hasn't been seen for a while. Perhaps something funny is occurring, but KN now running up through the lobby. This is the time to try and go to get the drop! Onto Poi walking in. Is it really worth it? Getting that drop, waited so long for it, conceded 2 points in the meantime, but getting the drop onto Poi in the dying seconds of the push, just about to use through the shuttle and gets the uber charge stripped out of his hands.
This spy was always going to be either the best or the worst player of the game, and it looks like luck is with the Germans here. Everyone's so focused to spam into last there on the Frenchies, and if that spy wasn't going to happen, this was like a good spot to do it as well. They got really far in from Shutter again once more. Kind of the position they ended the round with last time, but this time round just shut down early. Will not have a chance with this one now, and we have to shift gears once more, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Yeah, you'll see a funny flame guy come out to play as well. I'd be surprised if they spy check for that.
Yeah, I love this Ungoli Rush. I absolutely love it. Just sending the Pyro in, air blasting everyone off the point. It's such a little ratty play, but it's...
for legal disclaimer, this play has been just endorsed by an operator. So do not try this at home, chat.
Well, Dolphins will be trying it as they're running in all the way underneath the point. There's Voxy there, ready to meet and greet on the Pyro of his own. Uber charges exchange, two shiny Pyros bouncing each other around. It's like punch ball, back and forth, ping-ponging forward and backwards. Voxy looks like he might just be coming out on top though with the damage at least, but...
Huge damage by Zunis from Secret. Just does so much.
Now it's on KN doing the rockets, and so many players caught underneath the point. We've seen situations like this previously in the season go wrong. Players caught underneath the point. KN jumping away for an arrow. You're not getting an arrow, mate. Your medic is dead. You can jump around and crouch all you want as the players get onto the point. The cap coming through, but no, not in time. The Pyro dies. Everyone getting caught out, and that might be the end of that for the push. Alien being caught out as well, backing out all the way in. Oh my,
Alien was so late to get back in there. That man could have ended the round with some damage on point, but took so long to get past the gun. Very unfortunate. Dangerously close, and they still have so much cap to worry about. That's the worst part about it. The thankful part is Poi went down super late. They will have Uber first, no matter what happens the last few seconds. But they can't get the point.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, they've even got a heavy now, just going mother with the engine, like you say, getting a heavy that can jump on the point, block the time, and yeah, the cap time ticks down so slowly right on this map, but there's still like, yeah, almost half a cap left as Poi deciding to come up this time with Pyro and crits. So Pyro on its own didn't work, maybe crit Pyro, it's like your own mini flob, assuming, yeah, crits probably isn't going to use the Pyro, but full disclaimer, but the Zunis might be going in those.
That's the force. Yeah, okay. They're just sitting on point. It makes it easy for them. However, it might not be that bad having to wait for people here. You do have 30 seconds. A lot more captain. Dangerously close. Pushman on pain train. This is just the full disclaimer for anyone watching. If you have this much cap time in a game like this, and you're not on pain train on the respawn, you're throwing. You're just asking to lose. Bushman wants to win, so the pain train comes out and almost just does it.
20 seconds. These spawners are literally just going to get here on time. This is all on this crit. What can Alien do with the crit? It's going to have to be one mega of a stick. He goes in, misses the first one. Doesn't get anything on the second.
It does nothing!
What? Not going to manage it. And yeah, Bruce going down. It was all had to be on that crits. And yeah, there they go. Everyone getting deleted over on the offense side. Crits, maybe not ideal. I know it's a frantic scenario at the end, but they were closer without in the dry fight, and yeah, it all just comes down to Forfins had so many chances with full ad going into last. Like that then was an ad chance. They got the force out. The bomb from Azunis and the play from underneath got the force out onto Joe, but they still just can't convert.
That's just unlucky, which is a very strange thing to consider as well, because I mentioned just a second ago, the Frenchies looked so good, making the plays into last, but once they got the opening to last, it just all fell apart over and over and over. Be it at the beginning or at the end. Doesn't matter how many chances you get if you can convert, and none of them. The Germans needed like 1.5 really to get the scoreline going, and that's all it took in the end. Kept it together from there. Barely a win, but mind you, we don't have actually concrete knowledge who picked this map as well. I did double check. The Frenchies only played this once, and it was last week. So hard to actually call. But in the end, right, no one banned it, so how bad a choice could this have been for either team, I suppose. At the end standing, it's the Germans 2-1 up, got themselves the first map win of the night in the dramatically close fashion, mind you, but I mean, they converted. That's really all that matters, right? They actually were able to work on some of the chances, made them count. And that backup now is putting a very ugly stain on the scoreline for the rest of the night for the Frenchies.
Yeah, absolutely right. So the Germans, they were on top for like that first 10, 11 minutes. Well, until obviously it was the mid-fight where they get like counter rolls and stuff. But like there's like for that time, that was the Germans, and they got 2 rounds in that time when they were on top. And then Fourth Ends were in control for basically all of the rest of the game, except for the one time, when off that mid-fight they got pushed back a little bit. But for the rest of the time, they were sat around the Germans' second and last points for basically all the time, and it just took too long. And yeah, they had all the control, they had all the point presence, their sacks were looking okay, but their pushes just weren't there. And like, yeah, these players with players underneath point, players hiding in secret, there was various heavies, and so it just wasn't getting dealt with well enough. And yeah, it's gonna punish if you can't get yourself into last, then you're not gonna get rounds on the board.
Very much, which will leave us with the scoreline we have in the end. And numbers that certainly speak of a bit of a slower game for the most part, but I mean, that's just what happens when both teams just figure out last for a while, I suppose. At least it wasn't really boring last holes until we got done with the first one, I suppose. After that, there was a lot happening, not a lot working necessarily, but at least they took their action here, and certainly we've seen big number on the guy that we talked about at the beginning of the game.
Yeah,
Can you give him a beam? He better deliver, and tonight is no exception.
Yeah, 22 frags, 4 of them on the enemy medic is always something you're happy to see from a soldier. But yeah, when someone's getting a little beam, and obviously in a map like Gully Wash where there's plenty of small little walls to splash off, it's something that's going to make them very happy.
I love that 1 DPM on a medic, by the way. That's a beautiful stat right there.
1 straight arrow.
That actually is what it is. That's what a close range arrow. Yeah. 52 damage. That's a close range arrow. Nothing else got it at all. And you know what? Fair enough. Who needs more damage when the rest of the team delivers? I guess just enough of it as well. Surprised by the kills different, but I guess we did spend most of the game in the end with one team running into last. So I guess he will just end up dying a lot more than the other guys.
Yeah,
it's kind of the reality of matter.
Yeah, and obviously the scouts have sort of got like deflated DPMs and stuff as well, because they're like often sat on like engineer, or they're sat on pyro, air blasting, or things like that. They're not getting the fun running around meat shotting everyone. But they have a slightly more fun on Metalworks, because that's going to be coming up as our second map of the series, do or die for the French. They need to win this to take it to the decider of Snakewater. The Germans could book their ticket in that lower bracket final tomorrow if they're to come out on top.
I hope my expectations are getting flipped for this map, because I don't remember the last time I watched a fun Metalworks game, quite frankly. So I want this to change right now. If it looks anything like the previous map, I'd be okay with that. That was, despite being stuck on last for quite a while, a very entertaining game, because you just got to see the process happening in front of you, and how they wanted to just break these last points over and over, and slowly but surely make steps towards that. Doing that kind of thing is still possible on this map, but it's a lot harder. That mad frontward hold with the gun somewhere behind you is just so good every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe I say when I covered the Fourth Ends versus 3.5 Stars game early this season, and they played Metalworks, and yeah, it was a really weird one. Like you say, it was a lot of that front wall gun parked up on last, and then that was for like the first 25 minutes. But for the last 5 minutes of like regulation time and the Golden Cap, it was a great game. But like I say, Metalworks does have that possibility of sort of stalemating out. The engineered gun is so powerful; it's like your Snakewater style gun, right? Just sit it at the front, just watches all the doorways, and you can just sit up close. And it's so hard to get a force out, get a pop out, anything like that. But yeah, there's ways in, and yeah, there's capable snipers and various like man tread bombs you can do and stuff like that. But yeah, it's one of those where you've really got to have a way in. You've got to sort of prep and think, how are we actually going to break our way into Metalwork class before we let it float through, and be confident that you will be able to do it, because not everyone can.
Very much. Well, the question now remains: what was the play of the game? Was it the funny backup, or was it the spy play that really had no right working?
I think it was the funny. It has to be the funny backup, right? Like, because I know the spy play did work and it did save the last point, but like, had KN been on Soldier and just like, I don't know, double bomb with Fishkoff and force the medic on mid, like they're not even on their own last, and they can just hold their second because they're gonna have Uber by that point. Like it's, yeah, I don't know. It did work, and yes, it does save the round because if he doesn't get that stab, they're in deep trouble. As the Uber charge is literally milliseconds away from getting used through the shusser, but yeah, no, that cap where the two scouts go on point, like yeah, even Ubers, yeah, just forget about the Ubers, just stand on the point, easy.
All right, well, everyone's slowly getting back to Metalworks map 2. If you missed map 1, you missed a quite entertaining game, despite not leaving last for much of it. I will say that was a very interesting performance from both teams. That just barely was enough for the Germans to get away with a win. Now a fresh start again. I mean, sure, I'm hoping they're hoping they can get an early lead again, but Frenchies did have most define them compared to their opponents by the end of the map. If they can keep at least that energy going, that certainly will be a lot uglier start for the Germans. You're going to have a big fresh start right away. Maybe a short break before the next map might actually benefit a little bit, cool on their opponents a little bit more, get themselves in the right mindset again to actually go forward. And for what it's worth, the only other midfight we had before the end of the game at the tail end did look pretty good by the Germans, despite being stuck on us for quite a while before and after it.
Yeah, I was in the mid-fights were sort of a bit back and forth. There was obviously that chaotic one where it looked like it was going absolutely perfect for full fence as they sort of get all the frags. They're chasing Joe all the way back. Joe escapes on like 3 HP through lobby. And then suddenly like Poi dies on mid and everyone who's feeding for Joe also dies. So there was that one. But apart from that, yeah, like it was kind of balanced. I think the Germans probably had slightly better of it overall over the course of the map. But yeah, like obviously this play is so much more different. And I can already see in the pre-game that Brugman is practicing the speed shot through mid, and when you bounce through the house, land straight on enemy demo. It's something that he's made a bit of a name himself on this map. It's very, very dangerous. Demo men fear him, fear what it can produce, but it's also a risk, right? You're flying in early. Yeah. If you don't get it, you just die. Getting back out is going to be a bit of a pain.
Remind me again, Ben, as well. What will be map 3? Shall we go the distance with this game?
Snakewater. On map number 3.
Would be the last map then. Interesting. I guess the midfights are so different on the map. I guess we can't really draw any conclusion from either the Gully or the Metalworks midfights into the third map of the night. It's just like the one midfight that's like it in the game, really.
Yeah, I guess like I don't know, maybe some arguments that like sultry is like kind of similar.
No, not at all.
Not really. I don't know. Like
not in the slightest. Actually, I'm going to put you on blast. How on earth did you arrive to this conclusion?
Well, you don't really rotate. You just sort of like send your soldiers high ended walk, right? That's like what you do on Snake too, or what a lot of teams like to do on Snake.
I disagree, but fair enough.
Fair enough. We agree to disagree.
I think we're going to see Sultry to disprove this point tonight, I suppose.
Yeah.
It might be for future games. Interested to see if anyone dares picking the new map, I guess. I mean, it's the last new map of the two, I guess, right? There's a lot more data to go around already for gameplay on the map that you can draw from, I suppose. I mean, Sultry is really in a position where Metalworks used to be like quite some years ago at this point, really. Where it's like it's been played a lot in America, but not really much in Europe at all. I think there was like 1 or 2 seasons, and then it was like gone for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I know like UGC used to run it a fair bit as well, right? Like way back. Yeah, the Americans such ran it, but yeah, now it's sort of become a mainstay, and people seem to like playing it. So it's sort of made its way into like the sort of core pool almost.
And now we know how to play the map, which is why everyone hits the last point.
Yeah, there was that like weird version. Was it in like a map cup recently? They tried to like
the Australian Metalworks.
ProWorks, they call it. You mean that one?
I just call it Australian Metalworks.
Australian Metalworks. There's like an extra door in like house to go to like alley.
I don't like that door. Oh no, the other one. Never mind. I don't like the door in lobby. Is the one I don't like.
Okay.
That's like in front, like directly opposite of the shutdown second. There's just also a door that goes in there as well. And I'm not a fan. I feel like it gives the defending team even more options.
Yeah, not something I remember that well. I think I've played it like literally once ever. But yeah, like I don't know, sort of the appeal, I guess, for Metalworks is like around second and stuff. Like the rotations are quite long, so it's like you have to sort of have good coordination and not sort of waste time. You can't just like shortcut around and quickly be in almost 2 places at once by just flying through some little door. Like, so yeah, adding more doors obviously can make it a lot easier for a team to sort of move around and sort of get where they need to be quickly. But that's not the version that we're playing right now. We're playing the current ETF2L
Good old Metalworks
version of Metalworks.
The version that's in the game, right? If I'm not memorizing incorrectly here as well. Always nice to see when these maps just get put in the game, makes them a little bit more approachable for people. You don't have to go through the process of downloading them every time too, which does help, because I saw people have awful internet in this game, which is surprising sometimes. I mean, you were there yesterday as well, I suppose, or the other day when an update happened in the middle of a playoffs game.
Yeah,
and you just suddenly realize how long it takes everyone to update their game once.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's always somebody who's got like carrier pigeon internet, and it's going to take them like 10 minutes to do a 50 megabyte update. But anyway, less about random hypotheticals. We are now going on to Metalworks. Frenchies are going to need a win on this one. Do you think they're able to do it?
Theoretically, yes, very much. I mean, they got dangerously close last map as well. This is a doable comeback for the Frenchies to make, but the Germans will not make it as easy one bit. In the second this game slows down, they will fear having to break the last points for 20 minutes once again, I would imagine. But let's not worry about last point just yet. Maybe they can just convincingly win some mid-fights here on CP Metalworks. The Germans up a map in this best of 3 to make it to losers finals tomorrow.
Yeah, Brugman hits the speed shot, but Philip is a little bit slower, perhaps anticipating it. Just sits back in the house for a second later when Azuna's now going to be trying to finish the job off. Not going to manage it, backs out. Very nice with Joe into the house. His counter-attack's coming in either side. Fishkopf doing massive damage, and Shocky as well. Only the 2 scouts left alive, trying to salvage something from this mid, but they're not going to get anything. Being completely wiped and shut down as liest do, starting off the second map as they did the previous up on the first mid with a massive advantage, and see if they can convert it as well as they did last time.
It's kind of the opposite of what I was talking about before the game started. It's a huge momentum swing for the Germans. Starting off map 2 like map 1, just great start all around. If they can convert this one, they're once again just in the power position for the rest of the game, even faster than they were the previous one as well. Gunner Pyro up makes things a little bit more annoying, but good practice and execution certainly can make this very doable here. Just with this Uber into last, Flip already keenly waiting to be able to get in here and slowly walking their way forward. Don't want to use early actually, so making it up with a lot of spam though might have to change their minds a little bit. But they're just not using it all. Azulis goes down first and they're taking so much damage, but almost dying before he comes out as well. He's not happy enough to really go deep either. Makes this a very awkward fight, all things considered. Twitch gets a decent bomb going though. That opens up the point where they're all looking in the skies, and that's just enough.
And they got so much space to get through that, I guess they sort of expect to use them straight away, and like Joe's like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna use. Like, make me use. If you want me to use, make me use. And yeah, there's like Azuna's flying into the sky trying to bomb and just gets killed. Like, nope, still not using, and then eventually decides to use it on a Shocky and Voxy. Philip doesn't even really get in the Uber too much, sending 2 scouts on point, and with 4 times cap time, it's enough to just squeeze it through. Very, very quick, very, very clean, and yet a couple of minutes in, and it's already 1-0 as Germans get the lead that they had previously.
Yeah, why do anything you don't have to? Makes it look real nice and cozy on the last point. Now back to mid, looked pretty nice here before as well. However, more resistance this time around. Don't let Shocky go under the point. Bump in by Azulis onto the medic. Ooh. Barely living that one. Falls not to the death, but barely to live on 4 HP as well. And with the cleanup coming in, it's looking a little bit dicey. He wanted Matt killed really badly, maybe too much so as well. Bushman going deep, but just blindsided in the meantime by the soldier and the scout. And the desperation does not get met up with any sort of success. We'll lose more players at the end, and it's just falling apart once again. Solid looking mid-fight. Maybe not as disastrous as Chokers on Gully earlier, but still looked good for the most part, but just fumbled the back in the end.
Yeah, they even got the first pick, right? They had the first pick, they had good space, like Azulis and Ruben both getting very, very deep going for that med pick, and honestly both of them had a good effort at getting it, but neither of them did, so they paid the price all the way back to their own last. 1-0 down already, at least this time they get Poi out, so the overcharge situation is back to even. They're able to get somewhat of a setup, but they haven't actually got a gun yet. They're getting the gun up just now, so a little bit slow on that, but I guess there's not too much of a rush. They still have an overcharge to use, so it's not as if there's a going to be worrying too much. Never mind the air shot, no, never mind KN hits the shot. It's only a splash on the back wall, but that is a masterful bomb in. Fishkopf coming through as well for the distraction. Really nice work through onto Poi. I thought he served it out away, but it hits the splash onto the back wall. The force comes out afterwards as well from Poi, and they're going to try and get second at least for this, and maybe perhaps going to Philip as well, but now the Germans back with this big advantage once again, and Joe, Philip and Voxy wanting to start walking their way in.
How much can we do of this one right now? This has to be another round, right? They made it look so nice before. I guess using late is not really an option right now because it's a lot closer to point having, but they're not doing any of that either. They're just going straight in here, find the gun, take that thing down, start playing point, force people's attention towards the cap, which will immediately result in people flooding in, taking a bunch of damage. Kane sneaks in completely unnoticed in the meantime from the last, while everyone's just desperately trying to get out of the corner again, but will not manage to do so. And once more, it's a quick 2-0 lead for the team in blue.
Yeah, not even 5 minutes gone, and yeah, 2-0 again. Last time it took 12 minutes, this time it's only taken 5. So yeah, great start coming out from the Germans. It looks a little bit helpful there for the French side, as they had their gun in like a hidden spot underneath the ramp, as they were previously. Even Ubers didn't have time for that on the first time, but it just makes no difference. It gets dealt with so quickly, like the Uber scout running in, and yeah, cap comes through. KN doing a great job there, cutting off the rotations. 3 kills on that last push for him, and Toll's just trading either side, shaking that guy to bleed on the way in as he gets eats a rapid as the ball, one can only presume. But actually this time, both ends really coming out on top for the most part, getting everyone pretty much taken down. Voxy caught really deep behind, points a lot of damage, but has not lost his life just yet. So yeah, this is exactly what Forfeits need, right? Going 2-0 down early, why not get an early round yourself?
Why do they have to go down 2-0 though before they start playing it again? That might be a bit of a problem here, but I mean, I guess they have a lot of time still. Certainly enough to do this, I suppose. Gonna just be a little bit quick on last turn on the last map, but once again, big advantage into this last point, and the Germans made it look so easy every single time just now with the into the last. Just get in, buy some space, get the cap time while they're trying to rotate back up the corner, and don't let them do that. With the spam you have going, hit the captain already. Don't use early themselves either, but be careful here. Lots of secrets on point. When there's unflashing, this could be a lot of damage coming in here. Philip's hit a good amount already, but his stat does not kill anyone just yet. They're getting out of the corner a little bit. Philip and the engineer actually running at them with all they have, but it's going to be enough. They're so weak on red. There's the Met going down, running out of resources. They got to hit some damage quick, and they're just not doing it once again.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just completely falls apart. It was looking so good. They were even in kind of a temporary 6v5 as well, because Voxy had died so late on that mid fight, getting caught behind and tried to nice shade the forward spawn, wasn't able to manage it. They're actually going to go for a bit of an attempted back cap. Azuni's jumping in and going to be absolutely destroyed. There's not much cap time to play off either. Going to buy some more time, but yeah, both ends, they're the golden opportunities that we saw them flub last time round. They're going to be roughing them up again. Is going to try and salvage in if they can. They've got Shay on Spy as well, so they really want to sort of go for the KN thing of when there's a coast to coast potentially happening. Going to try and get behind on the Spy. Drops in.
Catch the wrong guy.
Still a pick, but not the one I'm sure that Shay was looking for there. Getting onto KN, but Joe still has his Uber charge up and still going to be getting mid for free.
I mean, if nothing else, that's good pocket playing gameplay, right? You're taking one for the team, so your medic survives. You love to see it as a medic.
Now KN is out on Sniper. Oh, okay.
I mean, they have the lead. They can do anything they want now, I think.
That's true, yeah. Anything they want. KN's going to be peaky. And there's a couple of options for Sniper on this point. I think he's going to go in through the house first and then still leave as well. And potentially there's on Ali side as well. But this is sort of the tried and tested straight through onto Azunis. Gets the wake up call. Game is up now. We know the Sniper is on the board into the corners. It is the cover. Again, peeking now from underneath. See if anyone else is going to show their gleaming little head for him.
Well, they're making them have to think about it, at least with the walking in pretty far from the flanks, so in the meantime with the full combo just getting towards the point already. Shocky just walked over by everyone, though traded it pretty quickly, makes this very awkward. And they're taking the exchange eventually, just not having to let them walk that far in as well. But losing Bushman as well, flanks getting picked apart a little bit from the French side. As Ubers are slowly but surely running out. Sniper here a bit awkward right now, but he can control space. This might be nice. Fish cannot do so, however, as everyone else is just completely getting themselves out through alley already. There's another snipe coming through, but it's just not making up for the losses they sustained in the meantime. Everyone that wasn't part of the combo in alley just got picked up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they just took so much damage right as that exchange was coming in on the German side. They were taking so much spam. They had Boxy and Philip in particular both so weak. They got flashes just to keep themselves alive, but it meant that afterwards they were trying to take arrows, take beam, and it was just taking too long, and they weren't able to dish out the damage back the way they want to. And yeah, fourth ends gonna hold on, get themselves sustained on the second point, but like maybe not what they were exactly looking for, right? They were better in that fight and ended up with more players alive and had some space, but not able to get out onto mid. As Uber charges equalise once again, and Kane's still on Sniper, so still feeling confident. 2 headshots already for this gun. See if it's going to get any more as we going for the previous peak.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit awkward though. This point, I don't think one most people would recommend as a good sniping spot most of the time, to be honest. In most circumstances. You really gotta actually bait people down to get the sideline or get really far in from early, and even then it's tough to get a good shot. That far back, what they're usually holding is just playing around both of those sidelines. It also makes it difficult for bombs. It's just pretty all-around good positioning you can have there. But if you just get everyone else, maybe that doesn't matter. And we're hitting these.
Okay, and Lone Sky with a couple of attempts at the scanners. It's going to be taken down with Movement and Azunis both falling 2 for 2. The Shay and Alien very, very close and towards Ali. There's actually a flank is coming through. The combo was going all the way behind, but Alien's been caught out. The combo was left. Nevo and Poi all the way behind. Surely going to try and get in, try and get this Uber charge in onto Joe, but they're actually sat on the point. They're waiting for it. Trade comes through. Nevo and Poi doing what they can, forcing a lot of flashes around. 4 people going shiny on the blue side, so Nevo still going to have a slight bit of a better Ruben. Shay catching Fishkopf as well, so actually Forfans make the best of a bad situation for now, but they've still got more players coming in and are taking more damage. Azunis caught in the corner very low, trying to get arrowed, and Poi spent so long with so much damage coming in, wasn't able to get the healing required. Kane, Philip and Voxy filling up the kill feed as Azunis going to be the last one retreating out, and it's 6v1. This could be round number 3.
Maybe so. A bit of an awkward position they put themselves into, and the best position they got out of it in the end was just on point, completely surrounded. Even with the slightly better Uber, that was arguably impressive to even get that far. But still, the best you can manage out of this is just a bad second post-Uber position. It's just not good enough, and the Germans gladly take it 3-0, and I don't want to be like that, but we're reaching a point of no return rapidly in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there was a point there, I guess, in the middle of that fight where if Forfans wanted, they could have sort of cashed out, got back out to last, and been like, it's okay, and had players to live. But they stuck around a second. They thought, you know what, we're rounds down. We're gonna fight it. We think it's worth going for. And yeah, they pay the price when it doesn't work. You gamble high and don't win, you lose your stake. And actually, Shocky being caught already. So 1 for 1. See if they're able to convert the play advantage this time. They've struggled to do this before. Fishkopf in deeper now. No time to back all the way back out again. Restocking Valley. Get themselves healed back up again. Get themselves ready for a re-engagement. But point presence is currently being held over by the French as they're currently being forced back and forth. Real yo-yo in the mid-fight. There's everyone pushes back and forth, taking space, giving it back up again as the damage is taken. But that kill into Gruzman might be the one that seals the deal for this mid.
That's just about going to do it here. Both match surviving at least is a huge silver lining to the franchise, who every time they got put on last with this ad just lost around immediately. So can prevent that fate for the time being. How much longer are we going to stay here? This position on second just now got like awkwardly dismantled earlier as well, mind you. So it's gonna look awkward just now, and the Germans just have proven a bit better on the map in general as time goes on. Immediately taking space already. One bomb into the sidelines, one bomb right on top of them. Doesn't hit enough damage though. Can will go down. Well, Fish has to go home empty-handed. Nothing really getting done the way intended, and the Frenchies try to punish it quickly. They're going fast with low area.
Yeah, massive damage, and getting the force out onto Joe as well, having to use to save the rest of those teammates. And yeah, the Germans all the way back out, Uber charge used as well. So Frenchies now, this has been absolutely the first time they're going to hold the mid-fight this game, in the second or something. They had that push up to last, didn't they, before? But yeah, this has been one of their rare opportunities to really get the ball rolling, still sitting at 70% advantage as they're starting to take control of the house, taking control of the valley, seeing what they're able to do with this. There's nothing funny in the forward spawn. There's no shenanigans occurring like that, as looking like it's going to be a burst straight into the lobby, see if they can catch anyone off guard, but there's no one home. Just the 2 soldiers.
Opportunities like these can't be wasted anymore, Frenchies. There's no time for that anymore, but Matt almost has on blue too, so they're kind of get dangerous if the gun goes down. Not much cap time. Crit waiting behind and patiently just sitting there, letting them all run past them to be exactly where you want to be as the Uber ends, and the rest of the team can just put the finishing touches on. Almost feels like a waste to have to use for that, but they did take a lot of damage. So just clean up with it. Still have some ash to spare afterwards, especially since Poi died very much on a different spawn rate than everyone else. And
yeah,
it is brilliantly all they needed.
Yeah, that was so rough there. There was a player from Azun who's jumping over the crates on the left-hand side, and if that jump comes through just like 1 or 2 seconds earlier, then Joe wouldn't have had Uber, and that probably gets a 3k. Like jumping over, there's 3 people literally all just hid behind the crate waiting for the Uber charge to go up. Joe's Uber charge comes up at the perfect moment to flash through, save everyone. The bomb gets nothing, and they start walking their way out. And now, yeah, still at advantage because of Poi's death in that last fight. Taking mid as well, might be looking to walk even further. But on the German side, they don't even really have to risk too much, right? They're 3 rounds up. They're sort of happy to sit in stalemates at this point, surely.
I mean, maybe not happy, but you don't mind. And certainly, they don't want to be here either, actually. They immediately just disproved that statement. Sure, you could win 3, or you could win 5-4 in another 3 minutes by now. Get the push in, not get a whole lot actually. Annihilate the sniper, but after that, kind of slows down dramatically. Still, one more 1-for-1 trade. If Super doesn't get anything else, it could be good, but the Frenchies, I mean, they're desperate at this point. Something's gonna work. They're throwing themselves at the issue here, but going recklessly into lobby just means that they're completely surrounded afterwards, not checking their flanks at all. It ends with even numbers, but not a pretty position for the French at all.
Yeah, they're caught behind Needle and Poi, last 2 alive, caught in the house. As they're being bullied back out to Scout and Soldier versus Scout and Medic, and then running in, gonna pet Poi for a few seconds as well. Bumping back in, Blumen jumping into the sky, not really able to defend the Medic, and this is looking dire. Over on 4 fences side now, fully disard once again. Only 3 players alive, just as Unius, Alien, Smelly and Shay, all the way back on their own last point. And yeah, they haven't messed up one of these full Uber ads last yet. See if they're able to continue the streak.
Maybe Swordput comes in, gun goes down, immediately rotate to the cap, crossing people's hands, the bombs are coming through, Scout gets then time as well, will get some good damage here, and it might just about be enough to force them back.
Yeah,
one more last airport, they're trying it.
Yeah. Manage anything. Shocky might be getting out alive. Nope, never mind. Swept up by Shay. And yeah, there we go. Caster's first strikes. And for the first time, Gorgon's able to hold on full Uber disad on last. That Uber charge, I guess, kind of didn't get too much. They sort of just Ubered on low ground where everyone on the 4 fence side was already kind of back. Uber didn't get much. And yeah, the space is retaken by 4 fence. And it was really needed, right? I think 3-0 is already a bit of a hill to climb. 4-0 is a full-on mountain. And yeah, going to keep it just within 3 rounds, 40 minutes, still plenty of time for fence, but using players out in lobby, no, never mind, they're trading, they're okay for now, getting a kill as well into Voxy. Oh, the man actually did strong evil with 2 quick frags. Okay, this is turning on its head. KN caught behind as well, going to be trading out 1-for-1, so only 2 left, Philip and Joe. Philip might be getting caught as well as the Rockets of Azunis. Nope, going to dodge around nicely. And mid-fight comes through, so 4 fence to turn it round. They've defended last, cap mid, cap second. Like, maybe they're, maybe back into the game.
Well, let's not be that dramatic just yet, but they're not out of it yet, for sure. That much is still true for the time being, but even Uber being stuck in the stalemate right now does not have chances too much, you would think. Putting up a sniper of their own as well. In the meantime, Shay back to the rifle. I mean, it looked pretty good when it was there for the short few minutes on Gully Wash. Once again, this point can be very awkward, but if KN has proven anything, is that maybe you don't need the mad snipe at all. Just get everyone else.
Yeah, some of those are soldiers that KN were able to find, and yeah, that's had really good impact. It means that you can walk up, preaching fear of bombs and catching straight onto Vox, and never mind, the scout goes just as well as Shay finds the first victim, and that's going to open so much space to walk deep down, gets 1 headshot onto Shocky. They're trying to go for more as well. Big bomb from KN going to land in onto Shay. Poi 20 HP.
He hits those as well. No way, never dies to that. Man just sitting down low gun waiting to die. They still get the force though, actually, never mind, okay. Well, that is 3 down for the force, but it is still a force.
As the rest of the side decided to back out all the way. See if they can mount some kind of progression to them, but no, the spawners are too slow. They've got forward spawners second, but they're not really in too good of a position to contest mid. Too far back. Williams Roop as well underneath. They're looking to push out to Valley. Seems like the idea. The French with this big advantage sitting currently at 50%, jumping in now is Boozman up on top of the point. Fishkoff going in behind, going to get 1 kill actually, so slows down the flank push from the French going 1-for-1, but Cap going to be coming through, and KN, never mind, KN's underneath. KN gets the force onto Poi. Great rockets landing that second as well. Poi very, very low HP, has to use out the Uber charge, and now the rest of the combo of the German side backing all the way out. Go for the rocket all the way back into lobby. Big advantage over there, or might be able to even contest second with this.
And they're thinking about the Ubers coming up as well. There's all more reason to try and actually fight back now. Especially with the demo kill coming through to head a lot to deal some damage here across distance as Shelby just spams away and no one really can contest it too much. falling back early. Do get the force. As long as they can keep themselves alive, this might all be good news all around. Bushman certainly caught off guard. That's one more down. Doesn't have the chances for mid control, but Poifine and Uber makes the long game look pretty doable for the Frenchies if they only stay alive, and I don't think Azun as well.
Yeah, caught up by Shocky. Nice little box actually gets the kills ready on it. Nice little pistol aim coming through, and yep, 3 picks now in the favour of the Germans, and yeah, Poi has advantage, but they're not getting spawners for a while. They might be they're getting definitely denied 2 forward spawns. Shay and Azun is going to be forced to run back all the way from last. Yeah, Fence are not going to probably not able to do anything with this Uber advantage. Joe's all the way back safe, and they're going to just try and take the space they can, but it's going to be risky. With 10 minutes left, their mind decide to go in. It's risky. 4v6 coming in, and they're not going to be able to get it onto Joe before this Uber charge comes out. It doesn't seem like yet Joe's using out the Uber charge, and only a kill onto Shocky is something, but Boxing and Philip getting fast. New KN jumping in deep as well, and this is going all the way on the German side, getting a 1-for-1 trade onto Brood and his KN. Yeah, base been taken out for the Germans, and mid still hasn't flipped, and this is just ticking down more and more time as this flip-flopping goes on.
Yeah, well, you were thinking about stalemates earlier. We don't quite exactly get that from the Germans, but it's endless fights that just never get resolved in a good fashion for the Frenchies. Starting off this one already with a player down, Alien caught by a pipe right away, and Boxy just shoots him into the floor. And that's just seen as any chance to get in here. They felt optimistic about it with even Ubers. No one had yet. Just get in there, get some early damage, get the better end of it maybe, but none of that coming through here at all. Never was eating so much. He almost just died for sitting there. Ate a rocket, ate the ball. Also just got melted just out of nowhere into the stalemate here, and it's not much of a stalemate as the red team, understandably, is desperately trying to get this force out early, and they're not getting any of that.
Yeah, great work by the two soldiers. Kane and Crystal jumping so deep, locking out the escapes in the lobby, getting lots of good damage, and yeah, the bombs come in over on the French side, but don't really get too much of note. They get Boxy, but that is about it. Everyone else going down 4v3. Even Uber's now sat on your own last. Uber's really rough, and I think you might just go in and try and get onto Poi in the force. Actually, KN able to finish up the job. The distraction was enough. Shocky able to cause enough of a distraction. Force comes out onto Poi, and they just get goes and roasted. Getting 3 picks for it, which is something I suppose. Getting a counter force actually, never mind. Okay, the bombs come through. Go forced out as Uber going to run into lobby and not get a great deal of it. This is the recovery that they're needing for Fence, but still a long way to come.
It is an endless task at this point, it feels like. Spy out in the meantime as well, just waiting for an opportunity to strike in the middle of this fight. It's a bit awkward to do all of this, and certainly don't have the Met stay alive, but I guess same can be said for both sides of this engagement, and the Met will go down on red. Yeah, Shocky just goes back. You realize, wait a second. Why do I care about any of this?
No one's spawning in time. That's it, the first round over. Shocky just...
I mean, they were winning anyway. Quite frankly, they would have won this faster with a second scout. I will say, but hey, this is the funnier way to do it. And at this point, if you 4-0 and you get a funny round, you're just shadow ramming your opponent.
Yeah, I don't want to call GG too soon, but I think this might well be GG. I guess it's technically possible. There's still, 2 minutes per round-ish to the fourth fence to get back in, but what a turnaround. This has been the second game. Germans have come out very strong and going to be looking to finish it as well. KN actually taken down early on the mid as fourth fence, deciding to actually just keep charging, keep chasing. Guzman going down as the 5 remaining players backing out. Voxy going to be getting caught underneath as well, and Azuna's jumping through, going to get onto one. Not going to get any more, they're going to have a jump underneath, but yeah, actually never mind, catches the straight fade away onto Philip, and actually this has been probably the best mid so far for four fences. They're catching all the stragglers on the way back out. Joe didn't have Uber charge yet. Shocky's down as well. And yeah, they're getting players unlocked already.
Any believers in the audience? Yes, Uber coming in. This has it. There you go. Okay. That's a round. There's a chance. There's a dream.
The thing is, that was like, I know I said it was like, they needed 2 minutes per round. That round took about a minute.
Yeah, no, you have even more time for the rest of them.
That was like almost as fast as you could do it, I think. Because they were capping mid very fast. And then they just like kept walking. They never stopped to like set up a push, wait for spawns or anything. It was like a death ball straight to the middle of the map. And yeah, if it's going to work, it gets the 1 round. And I'm sure that in 1 or 2 rounds time, maybe the Germans will decide, you know what, just calm it down. We'll slow it down a bit, because they were still playing a bit faster than lose that last mid. And maybe they know where it could be possible to double bomb once more. So fading either side, using Azunis, trying to spread themselves out. And even Shea going down on the French side. Yep, okay, this is the
It's
Back to
over.
more scheduled programming over the German side. There was like, I don't know, a minute and a few seconds worth of hope for the offense comeback, but this is really not looking too good. Poi and Guzman caught in KN's in behind, locking the back door to the house. Yeah, they're in
No,
big trouble.
but it's blocked from every direction.
Yep.
There's a soldier behind him, the demo next to them, and they didn't see any of that coming.
Point is being contested.
Yep, 6 minutes left to get 3 rounds, and they're sat on their own last, not looking good whatsoever for Porfens. This could be the way that their season ends, and Shocky getting going to Azudis as well, sweeping up finally on mid. Azudis has been out behind for so long. Grad push comes in, onto the point, getting down the gun as well. Bam coming through. Actually, the space isn't really being taken by the Azudis coming in. Joe taken down as well, so Porfens hanging on. They're dragging it out there. They've survived the onslaught on this last point, but a lot more than this. The time is still stacking against them. Probably into the run of the possibility. Shocky is going to try and go last, gets him to Shea. Shocky's going to try and go for the point. 2 into Azunas as well. Actually, no, the rest of the squad back. Evo and Alien back, and yeah, going to be dealt with, but it's had so many back. Buys even more time, and it's anything that's not in Porfens' favour at this time.
I mean, I'm usually a strong believer that you need to give up all hope first for you to be able to truly succeed. But it might, yeah, you're right, it might have taken too long at this point to really get anywhere. Can even just wasting more seconds. Not minutes maybe, but seconds is all you need really. Doesn't even get the force in the end, but just get them stuck in mid for a little while, and time is running out.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you can just, if you're on the German side, you're okay to give up these points. You can just think, you know, we'll maybe send a sack on each point, we'll just slow them down, make sure they have to work for it, they can't slow battle through, and yeah, Uber Charge used out, traded out now on the second point as the German side to get out on this one. Joe and Voxy with Uber Charge underneath, going onto Guzman, Killer's coming through onto Alien as well as Unis on the point, trying to get the cap through, but KN going to be winning out the MG fight just about. Evo taking out the splash as well. Poi last alive, last one standing, and going to be dealt with eventually. They're stealing the sword. Well, that's disrespectful there from Voxy.
No, everyone knows that sword is the most powerful weapon that one has.
Yeah,
this is common knowledge. And that should more or less do it at this point, right? And I mean, what a map! Germans just a huge step up in performance on this second map of the night. And after seeing that was so close, and the previous match of theirs it was so close, and admittedly also the first map it was fairly competitive. Just a big step up here on map 2 to really put themselves ahead, a good step in the season that was very closely contested.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, the first map was. It could have really gone either way. I think Porfens were maybe like 1 or 2 good last pushes.
It was one sticky away from being a tie into Golden Cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like when Alien was getting trapped out by the gun and shutter. Yeah, absolutely. And even just away from that, like yeah, there was various points where Porfens really sort of let things slip, or there was big plays coming through from either side. That could have really gone either way. But this has been a complete other story. It's been a bit of domination on the German side. Yeah, there's been chances for Porfens, but nothing too big. There was that round they got in a minute off of a mid fight, and they had other chances towards last, but for the most part, yeah, the Germans walking in as they were like, the highest coming into this as they were tied with second and third. They were squeezing out the tie.
Don't end it with another sad sweep. No, not like this.
Oh, it's not going to get anything again, is it? Like the one last time.
Certainly did not.
Yeah, Ruben's going to pay the price, getting caught out on the escape, and yeah, this is we are all but done, and yeah, I guess we're going to see later on who the lower bracket finalists move between. Obviously, TLR played Mandem later on tonight, so
well, if nothing else, no one saved the season, right? For fans, you got made like the perfect run last season into playoffs and through playoffs, I guess, as well almost. This time around, it will end early. Barely got the 4th place here in the end, but certainly not any more than that. The Germans looking good. And I mean, compared to some other performances, I remember what they did only get like 5th at Arcadia, right? The Germans? Something like that. Slightly disappointing, I assume, for most of them as well, especially in home turf too. Slightly different roster, of course, as well. But a lot of the core stayed together for that, and it's going really well this season.
Yeah,
they've come a long way.
Yeah, they were. Like I say, they were only Mandem ahead of them on points this season, and yeah, winning out this, they guaranteed a medal position. They'll be on the podium. and seeing themselves into the top three, and they're going to be playing on the final day of the season. But yeah, obviously still a long way to go yet. Going to be, yeah, this is finishing 5-1. Captain the three, Joe finishing the day with the solemn Val kill onto Shea. There we are. GG's called in chat, and what a GG it was. As yep, German's going to be moving on forward, and for this, the road for fence is over.
Yeah, in the end, the faults of the franchise obviously were a lot more exemplified on this second map, but one thing held true on both maps, which is that sometimes the add into last just was not enough somehow, and the Germans just was so much more consistent at converting chances when they got them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was the big difference maker. Yeah, particularly on that Gully Wash map, and I think both ends could perhaps going to be kicking themselves a little bit when they watch this back and thinking, yeah, there were opportunities. They were really in the game for vast swathes of that, and yeah, just didn't quite make it count when it matters.
A very unfortunate way to go out, but the Germans well deserve to take it home for now. Like I said earlier, we will see them again tomorrow, same time. Maybe twice as well if they make it a run. Certainly we've seen third place make it to grand finals before, so wouldn't it be unheard of, but it will not be easy. That much is for sure.
Yeah, we're getting some logs coming through. And,
oh my god, I love numbers.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Joe only died 3 times. The power merc in for the Germans, going 1 and 3 on Metalworks. I know it's obviously like logs for a roll. Like, yeah, what can you look into them too much? But yeah, stats like that don't happen every day.
I mean, if nothing else, right? Sometimes like good medic numbers speak for quality on the medic as well, and certainly I don't want to say that that wasn't the case as well, but it also speaks for the rest of the team, just making sure that nothing can even get close most times.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like the 2 scouts, in particular, Shocky and Vox, are doing a great job of really keeping Bruiseman and the Zunis quiet on the on Metalworks. Like, obviously, it can be quite dangerous, particularly on Ali on second when you're getting bombed and stuff. But yeah, great job by.
And those two did some work the first map as well, and just didn't really get any chances this time around too, which is a crazy difference as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and just AN dropping the 357 DPM just for a laugh. The things that happen in these maps, but yeah, it's, that's almost going to be it for us for now. Until
isn't it messed up that Choppy is still in Prem and winning games? I feel like that's not okay, honestly, at this point.
Winning more than games, you're going to be getting top 3.
Yeah. All you young'uns still can't beat this man. What are you doing? Well, there's still some left that can do it, I guess.
Yeah, there
very
is.
much.
Yeah, 2 more teams still in, and arguably the 2. Well, they're not arguably, they are higher in the seedings. We've got Mandem against TLR coming up later on tonight. I guess we consider it probably an upset win that TLR beat Mandem early this season 6-0, but we'll see if they can repeat it. That will be at 21 tonight, and the Germans will be playing next 17 tomorrow, which I believe you'll be returning for them, Tom.
Yes, we will continue down the journey through the losers bracket tomorrow evening. But like you said, winners finals coming up next in a short little dinner break time, 2.5 hours or so. Standard ETF2L match time. If you know when it is, just tune back in. Maybe leave the page open to not miss it at all. We'll be back shortly-ish, kind of, with the winners finals. Mandem against TLR. It was a 6-0 maybe, but it was a very close game either way at the time. And I'm sure Mandem's out for vengeance this time.
Yep, absolutely. So hope to see everyone there, and enjoy the rest of playoffs. Goodbye.